Hey everyone, this is Ken, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on a brand new ATM system. Now, the cool thing here, guys, is going to be using about 40 accounts max. And the great thing is, you can use whatever you want that's stackable as your actual key card. I'm going to be using Nether, I believe the stars. And I'm going to be labeling it whatever I want. I'm pretty much making it 1 to 40, but guys, you could really go crazy about this and label that thing anything you want. Which is cool, because you can really customize your own password by doing so. Now, let's jump right into it, guys. We got this minecart hopper. All you have to do right now is click on it, put your ID card or your debit card, as we like to call it, inside, and you're going to press that button on the left. Now, the second that drops, guys, you're going to get your personal minecart chest, which is your account, pop right in front of you. Look at that. It's awesome. And the great thing about this is the fact that you can even add shulker boxes inside and really expand your storage. Now, once you're done looking into it, you can send it right back and you'll get a receipt and your actual debit card shot right at you and the minecart hopper right back to its original spot. Look at that, it's pretty cool. So you really do get a receipt right back, which is awesome. It's a really cool feature, it's optional, and it really adds to that realism of an actual ATM, at least to a degree. And the cool thing is you can label that receipt anything you want, and you can have fun with it. Now, say for example, you forget to put anything inside and you press that button. The cool thing is it'll go right through the whole thing and come right back, which is definitely a plus. It doesn't interfere with anything. You don't get any extra losing receipts. It's a really good feature and adds a bit of a security feature as well. Now, to really take it to that next level, say for example, you put an item that doesn't belong there, like spruce wood, or just something that just ain't part of the whole system. It will repeat the same thing, bypass everything, and go right back in front of you. Now, one thing I ask, guys, do not put more than one account card or one debit card in the system, because that will completely break it. Now, the maximum size, guys, is about 40 accounts. So I'm going to build that, but keep in mind, you could really reduce that to whatever number between 1 and 40. And you can see there's a certain simplicity with this build because it's a very repetitive style. Now, pause the video, guys. Make sure you have this. That 40 long is the accounts. So depending on how many accounts you want, you can make it less than 40. So it gives you an idea how to really gauge what you're building. Fantastic. But that gray area is a must. Now with this build, guys, you have to build on the west direction. If you build on the east, you have to invert everything. And do not build it on north or south because it will completely not work. So that's just a must, guys. I'm going to put it in the description. So look at the descriptions. It has a bunch of information as far as resources, etc. and things you need to know. Now, about 2 blocks in, you're going to dig a ditch about 1 block deep right across that 40 block area or the account area. Which is that white part. Now, over here, guys, you're going to add a block right there and extend it right across. Then in front of those blocks, you're going to add some repeaters. Now, bear in mind that yellow area or the white area represents the amount of accounts that you're using. Now, once you add your repeaters and your blocks like so, you're going to add a block in front of it. And of course, you're going to repeat that and extend that all the way to the back. Fantastic. Now, feel free to pause at any point. Trust me. A lot of it gets very repetitive, but trust me, it is worth it. Now, right over here, guys, you're going to delete this entire corner. And you want it to look like this. About 1 block deep. Now, starting from underneath that yellow block, you're going to add some redstone dust right across to the front end. Then we're going to count about 15 blocks going backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right there, you're going to add a repeater going outwards. And we're going to count again, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then you're going to add another repeater going forward and one on the side right here, like so, going inwards to activate that redstone dust. Then once again, you're going to add some more redstone dust parallel to the one next to it. But the only difference is, guys, you're going to add 2 more going outwards. You should have this look. Fantastic. Then you're going to add a repeater going from that corner and that one. And you're going to add a block in front of each repeater like so. Then you're going to add a block there and delete the one in the back. And you're going to add 2 pieces of redstone dust like so. That's going to be your receipt activation system. Alright, so that's completely optional. I'm going to leave that, guys, to you. Then add 2 pieces of redstone dust. Then you're going to add a comparator like so. 2 on both sides going opposite directions. And some redstone dust there and a block there with a redstone torch on top. See, so you should have that kind of look. Then add 2 blocks right there to create that kind of 4x4. Add another block in front of it and a block right there. Then you're going to add a dropper facing inwards and another block on top of the dropper to create this kind of format. You see? Make sure you have this exact format. And you're going to add a chest in front of it. Now, like I said, guys, that will be your receipt area. Keep that in mind when setting this up later on and adding your, whatever you want to use as a receipt, or if you even want to use that. Then you're going to add a sticky piston on top of that redstone torch with a block in front of it. Then you're going to add a block right there, a repeater going forward. Then you're going to add a block right about here, like so, and a block right on top. You see, to create this kind of format. With a redstone torch on top of it, with a redstone dust on the side, a block right there, and a redstone torch in front of that block. Now, guys, we're going to go right back to the front, and we're going to delete this entire row all the way to the back. See? Make sure you delete that. Trust me, it makes a world of difference. Then we're going to delete some of these blocks. And we're going to delete this row right in front of us, because that's going to be the main row for the rail system. So pause the video. I just changed the blocks to that color, so you guys know that that's an important block. And then we're going to be really utilizing that space. Now, before we even get to that, add a redstone torch there in the front, a block on top, 2 blocks in the back, and you're going to add a comparator going forward and 3 pieces of redstone dust. Now pause the video at this point, because you're going to replicate that pattern right across every single account. In this case, we're going to be doing 40, so of course, replicate this 40 times. But like I said, guys, if you guys are making less, then, you go based on that number. Now, you should have this kind of pattern at this point. Now we're going to set up the hopper system. Now you're going to put 2 blocks like so, place 1 hopper going that direction, and 1 hopper facing the comparator right on top. See? Now you would need trap chest and regular chests, because you're going to go in this back and forth pattern like so, you see? See the difference? Because you don't want them to connect. And once again, guys, you're going to repeat this same exact pattern right across the board in the center. Awesome. All right, it's really come together. Then you're going to place a block there, another block at an angle, and another one like so to create this exact pattern. So let's delete about 3 blocks like so and replace that with our color blocks. And 4 blocks, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can make this L shape. Then you're going to place blocks like so at the opposite angle at that corner and create this kind of shape. See? And we're going to connect it going forward, you see? So it goes out and it comes right back. Then you're going to add a lever right there and you're going to activate it. Now we're going to add some power rails and extend that all the way to the back. Now once you got it straight to the back here, guys, as you can see, from front to back, you're then going to add 2 regular rails on this corner and extend the rails straight across. You see how it's making a whole loop turn? Look at that, that's perfect. So it makes a whole loop and it comes right back. Look at that. Fantastic. And this is the reason why we're using a minecart hopper. Then extend that right on top of these blocks like so. Then you're going to add a redstone torch right there parallel to the block that's not powered. We're going to add a block right in front where that chest is at and extend that right across. But at the same time, you're going to want to place a redstone torch so that you can power those rails as you place a block on top of it, you see? So every time you get to a spot that's not powered, place a redstone torch there, block on top, and then continue all the way to the back to the last chest. Now right here where that repeater was, best thing is I had a lever there also because you want to power that as well. You want to make sure all these rails are powered. You're going to add a rail detector right there so that it can activate that repeater. And that acts as a security feature in case you send the minecart, to the wrong area. Well, you send it empty. Then you're going to place a block there on the side with a piston facing down. A block on that side, delete that one to create this kind of angle. And a redstone torch like so. And you're going to add some half slabs. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more on the side. And then 4 pieces of redstone dust like so. Well, 5. Then in front of each chest, guys, you're going to add 1 comparator outwards. So that's going to read what's in the chest and activate the specific minecart system that we have in mind. Awesome. So you really should have this look. Now, starting from here, guys, we're going to delete this block from front to back and replace it with a blue block. See? Trust me, it will all make sense. Now, we're going to replicate that on the opposite end. So add 2 blocks right there, 1 more right there, and add 1, 2, 2 at an angle. Then you're going to place some power rails, once again, going upwards, add 2 regular rails, and of course, you want to extend these power rails all the way to the front. Alright, so let's temporarily, we're going to delete that. And we're going to add a redstone torch here and add a block right on top of it so that it can activate both sides. Now, once again, extend that right across till you get to this point. Then add 1 rail, power rail there, and a regular rail so that it curves. Make sure it's like that first. Then add 2 power rails like so, and then make that kind of curve area with some redstone dust there to activate it. Trust me, it makes a world of difference. Then you're going to add a lever right there. Now, disregard that. That was a little mistake I made. And right over here, guys, you're going to add a rail detector right there on that curved part, you see? Trust me, later on during the video, that's going to make sense. Now, pause this because trust me, this takes time. Okay? And you want to do this right now that you can. You're going to add an anvil and we're going to set up the coding system for the accounts. Now, 4 pieces of dirt you're going to need per hopper. You can name that whatever you want. I always like to label that completely different. And this will be, I'm going to use a name tag as my actual debit card. You can use whatever stackable item you want to use. And I'm just going to call that K1 credit card. Whatever. Like I said, guys, this is the perfect timing to allow you to name your specific debit card or your account number anything you want. You're going to go in that first hopper facing the comparator. The last 4, you're going to add your 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And right here, that's going to be your account information. It's going to stop at 41, but I always like to use a stack. You always want to take it there. And as you can see, it's right in front of that chest and allows you to take it out and just put it away. I mean, you could put it in another chest. You could just kind of save it for something else until someone else want to use it, etc., etc. Long story short, you're going to have to repeat that same exact pattern to each one right across. And it's very time consuming. Now, once you've done that, guys, like I said, pause the video. You're going to place a block in front of that comparator, a redstone torch on the side, a repeater going the opposite direction on 4 ticks with a block on top of it on that redstone torch to activate the repeater. A block in front of the repeater, and the redstone torch on top of it, and a regular piston facing forward. See what I'm getting at? Then you're going to add a redstone torch there, a block on top of it, another redstone torch in front of that block, another block on top. Then you're going to add add one more right in the front. Well, hold on, delete that block. One in the front, right one under it. And then you're going to add a repeater going towards that block on 2 ticks. Alright, so you should have this kind of format. Then you're going to add a sticky piston and a regular piston. Sorry if I got a little tongue-tied, but that's the same exact pattern. Once again, you're going to repeat to each account. When you get a chance, pause the video and just do this right across the board. Awesome. Alright, so you should have this kind of look. You see this really coming together. Now, there's 2 ways to really set this little part up, guys. And the reason I'm showing these 2 ways because it has to do with kind of making this as small as possible. Now, you're going to place 2 blocks on the bottom, one on top, parallel at an angle towards a regular piston, and a redstone torch on top of it. And that's because you have the power rails are going to be placed on that block. Now, you can do it that way, which is cool, but keep in mind it makes it a block taller. Or you could add a redstone block right there, and you have this smooth top end surface, which really brings it down a block. Now, I'm going to be using the redstone block, but you could do it the other way I just said by adding that redstone torch with a block on top, like so. I just want to give you guys some options so you know what I'm talking about. Now, you're going to place a block in front of that redstone block, and the power rails are going to place it right across, like so, till you connect to the front part. You see? Then you're going to add some regular rails parallel to the piston, like so, and of course, bring it right on ahead. Now keep in mind that block with the redstone torch would have been right on top of that regular rail. But like I said, guys, I wanted to give you those 2 options just in case, some people are pretty particular on certain things. Now check this out. Let me show you exactly how this works. So once an item is in that chest, you can see that the system gets activated and the rail kind of curves forward, dropping straight down to that spot. So that's the return process. See? Boom. Then it kind of goes right back to its original spot. And then once you take it out, see the rails go right back to a straight line. It's a really cool system. It's very efficient and it really makes it tolerable. Now I'll place 2 blocks and one more on the side like so, parallel to that redstone torch. Delete the first 2. And right over here, guys, you're going to add your tripwire hook. And you're going to add a string right across every single, I guess you could say parallel to every single redstone torch. Then you're going to add 2 blocks in front of it. 1, 2, delete the first one. And add your tripwire hook like so. And when the string looks very thin, like so, that means that it's working properly. Alright, now we're going to add another block like so. And extend that right across. Then you're going to add a repeater right in front. And once again, extend that one more time right across. Alright, so starting from here, guys, going to place a block 1 block away from that rail on the side. And of course, extend it straight to the back. See? Now, I apologize, guys. You're going to have to temporarily, we're going to delete these rails. And trust me, it's going to all make sense. Just for now, my apologies. Now, we're going to delete about 6 blocks right across. I like to kind of color code everything. So, we're going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's optional if you want to delete it. But on the 7th block, you're going to place a block on top. And, of course, extend that from front to back. Now, of course, guys, you know me, I'm going to color code everything just so it could make it a little easier for you guys. And it kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? Fantastic. Now, once you've done that to each account, you got to set this up specifically a certain way because the rails will be trying to fight with you and go the opposite direction. So place a power rail right across till you get to the back to the front, as you can see. So 2, then right across. Then 2 more and 1 more at an angle, you see? And you're going to do this leaving a 1 space gap in between each one from front to back. Now, once you've done that, guys, you should have this kind of look. You're going to place a rail, not right there, not parallel to these guys, but 1 block inwards. See, not there either. So just place it, 1 there, on top, and then right across, and then 1 right on top, but don't go any further, okay? So 1 right there, extend the power rails right across to the top of that blue block, like so, and you're going to repeat this to the rest of the remaining gaps. It looks a little funny, guys, but trust me, it all pays off. The reason you want that because you want all the minecart rails to go in this direction. Now you can delete the excess amount like so. Now if you mess up, just once again replace it, do the same format on both sides, and then bam. Take your time, guys, because this gets a little tricky and I've messed up a few times in this area. Alright, so you should have this kind of look, empty on both ends. And we're going to empty out this side like we did over there. So delete those 2 blocks and repeat that right across straight to the back. And now we have these perfectly neat rails the way we want them. Now you're going to place a block right on top. And of course, extend that right to the back. Fantastic. Now over here, guys, you're going to place 2 blocks. And this is the perfect time to add your regular pistons on that front block. Now what's causing it to activate is because the repeater is causing a butt switch to activate and control that specific piston. So you do not add a block on top of it. Now we're going to add 1 more row of blocks right there. Okay? And of course, guys, we're going to extend that straight to the back. Now, right over here in the back end, guys, I want you to place some levers like so on the inside. You can do that to each one because you want to power those power rails right across. Alright, this really comes together. Now, we're going to place a dropper right there, parallel to that block with a tripwire hook. 2 blocks in front of it, delete that. And we want the droppers to face each other. See? They're both facing each other. Then you're going to add a block underneath, another one like so, delete the first one. You're then going to add a comparator with a repeater in front of it and a block in front of that repeater. Perfect. Then you're going to add a repeater right like so going forward. And you're going to add some redstone dust on top of that dropper like so. But before you do that, make sure you add 1 piece of dirt inside. Then you add your redstone dust on top. Then right over here, guys, you're going to add about 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 3 half slabs in this case. Add a block right there, 1 block away from that detector. Add 2 pieces of redstone dust. Then you're going to add 2 blocks over here on the side, 1, 2, and a half slab right there. delete those two. Then you're going to add some redstone dust and connect that with the repeater itself. Alright, now we're going to go straight to the back over here, guys. And we're going to add a straight line of rails going forward. Now, the reason I did it in this format is because this might automatically do it in the console edition, but it won't do it on the PC. Now, we're going to return the rails we just added on the right hand side. And we're going to add a few blocks right over here with two regular rails like so, creating this kind of curved pattern. So add a block there, delete that. Well, if you want to delete it, it's an unnecessary block. And you want to create about 3 or 4 blocks at an angle. And right now, guys, just add some rails right across because you want that to go upwards. And not to worry, that half slab won't interfere with it. Now, we're going to take this dropper, make sure it's in the back end, right where the redstone dust is at. And we're going to start working on this activation system. Now, you're going to place a block there and a half slab right there and delete the first one. Because you want it to be on the top part of the block. You see how it's kind of right there? We usually want to use half slabs because it will activate the rails, but won't interfere with those repeaters. Then you're going to add some redstone dust right across. So on this corner, add 15 pieces of redstone dust, 15. Then you add your half slab, add a repeater going forward, see, 15. And on this end, you're going to add another 15 pieces of redstone dust on top of each half slab. And on the 15 block, you're going to add another half slab with a repeater going forward. And of course, guys, fill in the center with some redstone dust so that you can make a completely synchronized transaction. Now, of course, you're going to add some blocks right there, right across. You're then going to add a repeater right there at the edge and some redstone dust activating, right across so you can activate both repeaters. And what that does is it makes sure that everything is shut off at the same time. Then you're going to add some redstone dust going towards the front of the build. 2 more blocks. Add a repeater right there and 2 pieces of redstone dust so that it can activate the system. What that's going to do is going to lock the pistons so that everything works smoothly. Now you're going to add a block there. Now keep in mind, guys, you're going to add 2 rails right there, and there's going to be 1, 2, 3, okay? I think I might have added 1 too many before, but just make sure it's 3 at an angle. Now, once you've done that, right here on the side, guys, you're going to add a block right there, a dropper facing forward, and a dropper right here on the side. Now, we're going to get some hoppers, because we're definitely going to need that. And we're going to place 1 hopper on top, and 1 more on the side. Then you can delete that first block, because we don't need it. Now, right over here, guys, you're going to add some half slabs. And you're going to add about 4 going forward. And at this point, add a block right there with a comparator going forward. A block in front of it. Some redstone dust right there. A block on the side of it. Then you're going to add 1 repeater. Make sure you activate that on subtract mode, the comparator. And 2 pieces of redstone dust to activate the system. The reason for that is, once you put an item inside, it's going to shoot right out. Yeah, pretty cool, right? The reason I'm using 2 hoppers because you always want to get your key card and the receipt right back. So we're going to place 2 blocks like so. Another 2 more blocks on this end. Then right over here, you're going to add a glowstone. Well, I like to add a lantern, but you can add a regular block if you want to. Then you're going to add a sticky piston right there. Delete the one in the back. And a block right in front of it. Then you're going to add a block right behind it. Just where those rails are at. Now at this point, guys, we're going to really start kind of decorating it a little bit. We're going to add a redstone lamp right there with a block on top. Add 3 blocks in front of it like so. and add some blocks right on top, guys. And what I want you to do at this point, pause the video and make your own framework around this whole centerpiece. You should have something just like this. I mean, you can really customize it to your own setting, but this is generally what you want. Now you can place a button right in front of that redstone lamp. I'm going to place a block right there. Then another block like so. And what I want you to do at this point, we're going to delete this. Hold on. I have actually added one too many. Alright, add a block there. Let's rearrange this. We're going to add 1, 2, and 3 pieces of redstone dust. And a repeater going forward on 4 ticks. And add 2 blocks right there. And redstone dust right across. And a block in front of that repeater, which will activate that redstone dust. And right over here, guys, you want to add a redstone torch on that block so you can activate that piston. Alright, now this is the fun part, guys. You're going to add a repeater right there. Then parallel to that redstone dust, you're going to add a comparator going towards that block with 2 droppers like so going forward and up, and one going the opposite direction with a hopper going downwards. And in that bottom block, make sure, guys, it's a wooden shovel. With some redstone dust in the back and a block in front of that repeater. Now let's go over here to the front. We're going to delete these blocks. And we're going to add a block right there. And just 2 pieces of redstone dust right in front of that comparator. See? Right there. That's going to send the signal strength of 2 blocks. Because of the wooden shovel. Now the reason that happens, guys, I'm going to show you prime time how that works is when you add a signal to a corner rail, you can see that it changes the direction. Then add some blocks right in front so you can cover that up, in case you guys didn't know that. Alright, it's really coming together, guys. Now, at this point, we're going to add some power rails right on top. 1, 2, and a regular rail right on top of that hopper. Then you're going to add a block right there because you don't want the minecart to kind of not fall into the center. And a lever right there. And that's going to activate all the rails. And the last thing you got to do, guys, is get your minecart chest and place it right there in front of each piston. Now we got to power these rails on the back with the minecart, well, where the hoppers are at. Trust me, we need to. Add a block in front of that piston with a redstone torch. See? And it's that simple. Beautiful. And you don't lose any height. And one more thing, well, last thing you got to do is add a minecart hopper right over here and push it forward so that it can fall right in the center. At this point, you can decorate it and you're good to go, guys. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Remember to please leave a comment and to click that subscribe button if you want to join. Thank you.